Hi guys, Miss Smith here. I guess you're wondering why I'm wearing my monster costume. Well, that's because today we're going to be talking about subtraction. Now, if you think about a monster, they're always trying to eat things or take things away. Well, that's exactly what subtraction is. When we talked about addition, we talked about composing things or putting things together. Well, subtraction is the opposite. So we're going to be talking about taking things apart or decomposing. I'm going to be walking you through the same strategies we used for addition to help us solve problems for subtraction. We're going to be talking about using part whole, counting with our fingers, counting with pictures or objects, using a dot frame or a 10 frame, using our number line, and counting backwards. Some of the clue words you might hear when you're doing word problems for subtraction are subtract, take away, left, fewer or fewer than, less or less than, minus, the difference, and how many more. Let's get started. Now we know with subtraction, we're going to need a sign that lets us know we're going to be subtracting. That sign is called a minus sign, and it looks a little something like this. Now, just like addition, we have number sentences for subtraction. Our subtraction number sentences look a little bit like this. A number minus another number equals our answer. Our answer is also called the difference. So let's get started with our first strategy or way to help us solve the subtraction problem, which is part whole. Now, when we worked with addition, we worked with part whole, and we knew that a part plus another part put together makes a whole. Well, with subtraction, it's a little bit different. Subtraction helps us to start with our whole number, and then it takes away a part, which leaves us to wonder what our other part will be. So let's put it into numbers and see if we can figure it out. In subtraction, we always start with our whole number, which is going to be our bigger number. Let's start with the whole number of 10. A subtraction problem also gives us one part. Let's start with a part of 5. When we're trying to figure out our answer for our subtraction problem, we're trying to figure out what that other part is going to be. When we're writing our number sentence, it's going to look a little bit like this. You always start with the biggest number or the whole first. 10. Then we need our minus sign. Then we use our next part. And then we'll need our equal sign. The answer is going to be our difference, and that's going to be our missing part. So, in this number sentence, it looks a little bit like this. 10 minus 5 equals, let's think about it like this. If we start off with a whole of 10, and then we take away a part of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what other part are we left with? You guessed it, 5. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our missing part is 5, which is our answer or our difference. So now we know that 10 minus 5 equals 5. The cool thing about the part whole strategy is that if you know addition, you can double check your answer to make sure your subtraction is right. So let's double check our answer using our part whole strategy in addition. If we have a part of 5 and another part of 5, Will we get a whole of 10? Let's count. 5 plus another 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our whole. I think we've got the right answer. Let's give it another shot with a different problem. This time, let's start with the whole of 7 and a part of 3. When we write our subtraction problem or our number sentence, it'll look like this. Remember, always start with your biggest number or the whole. 7 minus our next part, which is 3, equals, what's going to be that missing part again? Let's see. If we start with the number 3, how can we get to 7? Let's see. Our first part is going to be 3. Let's count on this hand our second part. 4, 5, 6, 7. We've gotten to our whole. And what was the other part that I added to my 3? You got it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's plug it into our part and make our answer. So our subtraction number sentence looks like this. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Now remember, we can double check our part whole strategy by using addition. If we have a part of 3 and another part of 4, will we make a whole of 7? Let's count and see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted 7 as a whole. So that means that 7 minus 3 is going to leave us with a part of 4. 2, 3. Let's take another step further with a harder problem. Let's see if you can get this one. Nine for our whole and 7 as our part. I'll give you a second to see if you can put it into a number sentence. All right, let's check it out. Remember, always start with your whole number first. 9. What do we need next? You got it, our minus sign. Then what goes after that? The first part, which is 7. What goes next? You've got it, that equal sign. So here's our number sentence. 9 minus 7 equals. Let's see how we can get to that answer. If we have a whole of 9 and we take away a part of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what other part are we left with? You got it. 2. 1, 2. It looks a little weird when we're using our fingers, but hopefully if you're at home doing this with me, you're using your fingers too. So what was that part again? 2. Let's plug it in and see if we got the right answer. 9 minus 7 equals 2. Remember, if we know addition, we can fact check and make sure that our subtraction sentence is the correct answer. If I have a part of 7 and I add another part of 2 more, will I get a whole of 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got it, guys. Super smart. The last one, I'll let you decide if you can get it right. Here it is. Go ahead and put that into your number sentence and see if you can figure out a subtraction problem and the answer. You got it. We start with our whole number first, which is 5. Then we need our minus sign. 5 minus 4, which is our other part. And we need our equal sign. Did you guys get 1? I did. Now let's double check just to make sure we're sure. If we have a part of 5 or a whole of 5 and we take away a part of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Will we be left with another part of 1? Absolutely. Let's double check with addition to see if we got our whole number right. A part of 4 and a part of 1, does that equal 5? It sure does. That lets us know that we fact checked our answers, and now we know that 5 minus 4 will leave us with a part of 1. Good job with part whole, guys. Let's move on to our next strategy. Using our fingers. We just used our fingers a little bit for our part whole method. So it should be pretty easy to use your fingers on this method. Miss Smith's going to plug in some numbers and see if you can get it. 9 minus 3 equals. Remember, we always start with the biggest number, which is 9. Then we have to subtract 3. 1, 2, 3. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is going to be our answer. So now we know that 9 take away 1, 2, 3 equals 6. Let's try another one. How about 5 minus 2? Remember, always start with, you guessed it, the biggest number or the whole number, 5. And then we're going to take away 2. 1, 2. How many fingers do I have left? 1, 2, 3. So now we know that 5 minus 1, 2 leaves us with 1, 2, 3 fingers. Way to go, guys. Let's try a different one. 8 minus 4 equals. How many fingers should we start with this time? You got it. 8 fingers. Now, how many do we have to take away? Absolutely. 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many fingers do we have left? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is our answer. So we know that 8 take away 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to leave us with 4 fingers. Awesome job. Here's a tricky one. 6 minus 0 equals. How many fingers should we start with this time? You're right, 6. Now, how many fingers will we take away? 0. Take away 0 fingers. How many fingers do you have left? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is our answer. So now we know that 6 take away 0 is still 6. Great job using our fingers. The next one's pretty cool. We're going to talk about using pictures or objects to count. Here's our first one. How many pictures do we have in our top box? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try taking away 3. When we're using a picture, a good way to take something away is to X it out or mark it out, or you can even erase it if you have an eraser. This time, Miss Smith's going to X hers out. So if I have 5 that I'm starting with, I'm going to take away 3 or X out 3. 1, 2, 3. How many do I have left? Let me double check my answer and see. 1, 2. Now I know that 5 minus 3 equals 2. Awesome job. Let's try the next one. Here we have 3 basketballs. Let's try taking away 2. If I start out with 3, how many am I going to take away again? You got it. 2. 1, 2. Now how many do I have left? Absolutely 1. That lets me know that 3 minus 2 equals 1. Awesome job, guys. You're doing an amazing job with the pictures. Let's try the next one. Let's count our basketballs here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 basketballs. Let's take away 2. So, if I'm taking away 2, how many will I X out? You got it. 2 basketballs. 1, 2. How many will I have left? Well, let's count and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know that 8 minus 2 equals 6. Great job, guys. Let's see if you can figure out this last one. Awesome job counting. We're going to start off with 6 basketballs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you got it. You should have already X'd out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many did you get left over? Let's double check and make sure you got 2. 1, 2. Perfect. That lets us know that 6 minus 4 gives us 2 left over. Way to go using pictures. Next, let's do some using 10 frames or our dot frames. When we're using our dot frames, the amount of dots that we have first is going to be the number that we start off with. This time, we're going to start off with 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. And how about we take away 1? When we take away, what should we do again? You're right, X amount. How many is left over? Let's count to double check that it's 2. 1, 2. Perfect job. That lets us know that 3 minus 1 equals 2. Let's put some more dots in here and see if you can figure out the rest. I'll let you go ahead because I'm sure you're catching on. Now you guys have gotten started with your first number or your whole number. Now, let's get some number sentences together to see if you can figure out some answers or the difference. Up here, we started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd like you to take away 3. Can you figure out what that might equal? While you guys figure it out, I'm going to get you started on some other problems. All right, let's take it back up to the top. If we have 7 and we take away 3, how many did we have left over? 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Let's try the next one. We have 5 and we should take away 1. How many did you get left over? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 minus 1 equals 4. What about this one? We have 10 and we have to subtract 2. Let's do it. 1, 2. How many do you have left? You got it. 8 are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way to go, guys. Amazing job. Our next strategy is using our number line. Using our number line is pretty cool because It visually shows us what number we should start off with and what number we should end up with. For example, in the sentence 10 minus 3 equals, we'll have to figure out how to get to it on our number line. The number you always start with is the first number. That's where you started on your number line. Here we start with the number 10. The next number is going to tell us how many jumps we need to make. You got it, 3 jumps. Now, when we did addition, we jumped forward. That's why the addition sign is going this way. However, when we do subtraction, we're going to go this way, which is why the subtraction sign's over there. So let's make 3 jumps back. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to circle the number we end up on, and that's going to let us know what our answer is. We landed on the number 7. That tells us that 10 minus 3 equals 7. Let's try with some different numbers. What number do we start on this time? You've got it, 9. How many jumps will we make? Perfect, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what number did you end up on? Absolutely, 5. That lets us know that 9 minus 4 equals 5. Again, try this one. Perfect. Start at the number 8. How many jumps should we make? 2. 1, 2. And what number did you end up on? Perfect, 6. That lets us know that 8 minus 2 equals 6. Last one. I bet you guys know this one. Awesome job. You got it. Start at the number 5 and make 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. That puts us at 2. So we know that 5 minus 3 equals 2. Way to go, guys. Our last and final strategy is going to take us to the final frontier. And we're at the end. We're going to talk about counting back. Now, if you ever think about a rocket ship, it goes blast off once you get to the final number. You count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Same way when you count backwards here. I'll show you an example. If we start at the number 8 and we want to minus 3, what number will we get to? Well, let's think about it. Put the number 8 in your head. Now, let's count backwards. I want to keep track of how many numbers I'm counting backwards by putting them on my fingers. So, when I get to 3 fingers, I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about the number I'm ending up on. Let's put it together. 8 minus 3. Count backwards with me. 8, 7, 6, 5. I have 3 fingers. What was the last number I said? Let's do it one more time and figure it out. 8, 7, 6, 5. You got it. 5. 8 minus 3 equals 5. Let's count backwards again. This time, we'll figure it out doing 4 minus 1. 4. Now we must count backwards. Remember, when I get up one finger, which is the next number, the number that I end up saying last is going to be my answer. Let's try it. 4, 3. What was the last number I said? 3. I know if I start with 4 and I count backwards once, I'll get to the number 3, which means that 4 minus 1 equals 3. Let's try it again with these two numbers. 6 minus 1. Remember, I'm going to start with the big number and I'm going to count down until I have up one finger. Let's try it. 6, 5. What was the last number I said again? 5. So I know that 6 minus 1 is 5. I started with 6 and I counted back 1 and I got to the answer 5. Last one. Let's see if you can get this one. It's a toughie. 10 minus 8 equals 10. Remember, when I get to 8 fingers, I have to figure out what number I said last. That's going to help me count backwards. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2. That's the last number I said. That lets me know that 10 minus 8 equals 2. You guys are super smart. This was super long, but thanks for hanging with me. As always, keep subtracting, or in other words, keep eating more and taking more away. As in the words of Cookie Monster, yum, 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 yum. Thanks, guys. See you later.